So for this final drawing project or lesson, we are going to do a mini project. So the idea here is we're going to put all the skills that we've learned so far into creating something a lot bigger. So we're going to use all of the drawing tools, all of the layering tools, and we're going to just really go for it here and just try and create something really good. So here's what we've got so far then. So using all the tools and techniques from previous lessons to create a full scene, your scene must include a background, a character, a tree, and an object of your choice. You can theme this however you want, it's completely up to you. So the theme that I've gone for is a Simpsons theme. So let's head on over and I'll show you what I've done just so you can use it as a grounding. So here's my thing. So the first thing I've done here is I've done a file save and I've saved it as lesson 6 my full scene. So make sure you save it. This is going to be your first big project, okay? The next thing I've done is I've created my layers. So look at the way they are stacked. So the very bottom layer is the background. Then the next layer is the character. Then the next layer is the tree. And then the next layer, the one that I'm working on currently, is going to be my object. Also notice that they are locked so that I don't end up drawing something else on this layer. So be very, very careful of that. And as you go through, you are going to want to hide layers as well and work through it. So just to recap then, to create a layer, it's this button here. To relabel a layer, you just double click on it and you can relabel it. My recommendation to you guys is once you create a layer, once you finish drawing on it, you then lock it. Lock it so that you can't accidentally do something, you can't accidentally mess it up, okay? So this is how it's all built up. So if I just hide all of these, and notice that there's nothing on this one. This is the one I'm currently working on. So what I tend to do is if I'm working on my new object, I'll just start drawing now. I've got the layer selected, I've got all these locked, and I've got all these hidden. And I can just start drawing and without any distractions. And once I've finished, I will then just unhide these ones here. So we'll look at the background first. Now I've put the background on one layer, but you could do yours as 3 layers if you want. So you could have a sky background, which is this kind of like gradient color. You could have a sky layer. You could have a background layer. So you could have this kind of sand layer, and then you could have the cloud layers. That could be 3 layers, and you would label them each, sky, floor, and clouds. Once you've done that, then you'd work onto your character. So here's my character here. I see no reason why you would want to do this on more than one layer at this particular time, but if you were going to use it to animate, you might think about setting up a slightly different way, but I'm not going to animate this, so I'm not too worried. When I was drawing this, I literally just hide the background and just start drawing it, okay? And then when you're ready, you can unhide it. Remember, you can always scale it later on using the free transform tool, which is really handy as well. So you can select everything you've got and then just move it, scale it, whatever you need to do. And then finally, you got the tree one. So as you can see, I've scaled down the tree here. So if I just hide these two, just to get it positioned right, and I was working on the canvas there. Some of the big problems you're going to find with this particular project is you start drawing on the wrong layers. So for instance, if I start drawing on this layer, it will pop up this message. Now if I say yes, it will unlock this and it will allow me to draw on it. So if I press yes, you'll notice that this layer is now unlocked and now I can draw however I want. So just be very aware of that. You do not want to unlock the layers, and if that message comes up, you literally want to say no, and then you want to create your new layer, or you want to select the correct layer. So give that your best shot. Once you've finished, so I'm going to give you 2 lessons for this particular task. So this is lesson 6 and 7. You have 2 lessons to complete this. Make sure it's your best work. If you want to get that high mark, you can add more layers as well. And once you're finished, you just go File, Export, Export Image, and same as always, but this time I would definitely do it as a JPEG high. Make sure you change the quality to at least 90%, otherwise you will lose a bit of quality on that. And once you've done that, you can then just press save, and then you can say lesson 6, my full scene, and you can press save. So hope that was useful. Hope you've liked this series. Let's get this last assignment done, and then we're moving on to animation next.